All right, what's up, YouTube? This is BoxingWave, and I'm doing another quick video just to go through this Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis situation. I already just addressed this. I already went live, doing a live commentary talking about these two. I did follow-up videos on this already, but they seem to really keep pushing this fight, and I don't believe the fight is going to happen. I don't believe in any. I don't believe that, like, just based on the history of like big names and guys that's just going back and forth, I don't believe that these fights get made as early as like now. I think like a Ryan Garcia, and as long as him and Tank stay and remain undefeated, I don't believe that these guys gonna actually fight each other before 4 to 5 years. So I think it needs to be a long period of building up, and I don't think the buildup has been long enough. I think these both, I've said in other videos that I believe that both of them are very similar. I've said that I don't think they're like Haney. I don't think they're like Stevenson. I don't think they're like Teofimo. I don't think they're like Lomachenko. Those guys at around that 135 area are different. At some point, those fighters push to fight the other best fighters in the division, right? They either fought the other best or was chasing the other best. These two are different. And this is why I see people arguing online about the two of them. And I'm saying to myself, like, Ryan is no different from Tank. Ryan is avoiding, or he's been avoiding, directly avoiding Devin Haney, right? Ryan, Golden Boy, has not done anything to put anybody that is dangerous against Ryan. The Fortuna fight was a solid opponent. Luke Campbell was a good opponent, all right? His best opponent, in my opinion. Luke was a good opponent. I'm not going to complain about that at all. But him taking a mental health break and returning and fighting Emmanuel Tago and blown up Javier Fortuna, it's not good, in my opinion. Those are not, like, they're okay. And I'm not saying that Tank is doing much better with his opponent selection, because both of them are pretty much doing the same thing. Tank has never attempted to fight Lomachenko, right? Like, he's fought good opponents. Some of them moved up to face him. Some of them were washed up. They're all solid opponents. I thought Mario Barrios was solid. Isaac Cruz was solid. What's his name? Rolly Romero was not solid, but that's what they did. They created a buzz with that, and they were able to make it a big fight. But the majority of his fighters, his opponents, Leo Santa Cruz, such and such, those are good opponents. It's just that with every one of those fights, I always knew that Tank would win, no matter what. It was never like, I don't know if he is going to win this one. I haven't felt that since the Jose Pedraza fight. That was the last fight where I felt like I'm not sure if he can win. And in my opinion, that was his first test. Once he passed that test and dominated Pedraza, at that point, it lets me know a lot about you. It lets me know that, okay, you're cleared to fight any elite fighter. You've proven to me that you can fight on that level, because at that point, it was a big gap between who you fought before that to Pedraza. So I was pushing for Lomachenko then, once I saw that. But all we got was solid opponents. Leo is probably, like, as far as resume, by far the best accomplished fighter that Tank has fought. But Leo had to go up to fight him. Even though he had one fight at 130, and I know he pulled the belt, he didn't fight an elite fighter at 130. And I'm talking about Leo Santa Cruz. So with all that being said, I've been waiting for Tank to fight someone that I feel that can really challenge him. And all of these fighters have, and some of them have given him good fights. Isaac Cruz gave him a good fight. Barrios gave him a really good fight. But they all ended pretty much the same way, except Cruz. Cruz actually went the distance. All right. Ryan, on the other hand, Ryan is a little younger, so he hasn't done as much as Tank, but he's moving in the same way. He's talking about his popularity. He's talking about how he's the face of the sport. He's not really fighting for any major titles. He doesn't care for the title. Same with Tank. Tank has been cool, and he's just been settling for the junior belts at 135 and at 140. You know, he did win a legit belt at 130, but once he moved up to 135 and 140, he's been keeping it real cool. You know, he went up to 140. It made it seem like all the bigger fighters like Josh Taylor, you know, the legit elite fighters, not Mario Barrios, but the legitimate elite fighters, he made it seem like those fighters weren't big enough to fight him. They weren't good enough to fight him. You know, and now I feel the same is happening with Ryan Garcia. You know, he's at 140. He's not even at 135 anymore. He's fought 2 fights in a row at 140. But this guy won't dare to call out anyone at 140 that's good. You know, he fought Javier Fortuna, a guy who is really a small one. He's a small lightweight. He's not big at lightweight. He's moved up from 126. Now Ryan is up there. He's not calling out Russell. He's not calling out Montana Love. He's not calling out Josh Taylor or Regis Prograis. He's not calling out any of these guys at 140. He's calling out Tank Davis. And I don't have a problem with Tank, but like, because I want to see the fight. I do want to see the fight, but you guys are clearly ducking every other elite fighter that's in those 2 divisions. Like, those 2 are in their own world. Like, they're separate from every other elite fighter at 135 and 140. They're just like the sideshows. And I'm a big fan of Tank, but I'm not like delusional. You know, like, I love Tank. I love Tank. Tank is one of the best fighters in the world to me. But he hasn't proven it. I'm not going to sit here and act like he's proven it. He has to actually fight some top guys. I've been wanting him to fight Lomachenko. I've been wanting him to fight Devin Haney. I want him to fight Shakur Stevenson. Even with George 1 against Tio, I wanted him to fight Tio. And Kambosos. You know, I wanted him to fight all of these guys, but he's doing his own thing, and I get it. I know he sells tickets. I know he does pay-per-views. I know a lot of stars come out to see him fight. I get it. I understand it. But even his own promoter, all right, Floyd Mayweather has said it. I didn't fight for these baby belts. His own promoter throws shade at him. His own promoter is saying everything that the boxers feel, that the fans feel. Those 2 are in their own world. They are doing a lot of maneuvering around and just picking their own opponents. They're and picking winnable fights. That's what they're doing. Any risk involved, they're not going to take it. You know, when I say risk, when I say any risk involved, there's always risk in boxing. When I'm saying that there are higher risk out there. There are more fights out there. There's fighters out there that that have a much better chance of winning against you. You know? And both of them are doing, their promoters and their handlers are doing whatever they have to do to keep the fights going, but keep them all the opponents are winnable fights. Winnable. Heavy favorites. You know? Heavy favorites every single time. No matter what, the build-up is always cool, but the build-up is always good because they're using each other's name to build up their fights. Ryan is using Garcia. Ryan is using Tank. Ryan's not going to fight Tank. Ryan's going to talk about Tank all the way up to his next fight. They do it. They both do it every time, and we've seen it for many, many years. These two, just because there's interest and there's demand for this fight, this is going to be another 4 to 5 year plan. And we're only like in year 1 or 2. We're like in year 2. I believe that it doesn't happen next. If it does happen next, cool, great. You know, it'll work. But I don't even believe it's going to happen because I don't even think it's on those two. I think it won't happen because of the beef between Floyd and Oscar De La Hoya. I can't see them doing any business together unless it's really worth it. I can't see it. And even then, I feel like it's worth it now. I just can't see them working together to put this fight together. I think the both of them are using each other's name to promote their next fights and nothing more. All right. So if it does happen, great. I'll be wrong. I love to be wrong when it comes to fights that I don't think would happen that I want. So prove me wrong, but I don't believe it's happening next. And I do believe that Tank is the A side. For the people that are speaking about that, I know Tank, or not Tank, but at least Floyd said that, yo, if you want to take this fight, you got to come down to 135. Well, if that's what Tank wants, then that's cool. We know Tank has won at 140, but you know that Ryan would be strong at 140 because Ryan is currently fighting at 140. You know, so it would be in Tank's benefit to bring him down. You know, if that's what Ryan has to do. And that's another reason why I don't think the fight is going to happen. I see this being a thing. Well, you say that come down now, that 135. But let's say if I fight you another year and a half, 2 years from now, are you still going to be the A side at that point? We know how this works. We've all seen it. Like, we've seen this all before. Don't get played. Don't be fooled by the hype, the arguments. They're both the same fighter. Neither one of them are looking to become great or become champions. They're both here to make money. And listen, I don't have a problem with that, but I'm not going to sit here and act like you're all great, this, that, and third, if you are just chasing the next big name. You're not in the same lane as a Devin Haney, in my opinion, or a Lomachenko. Guys that are going to different divisions and picking up titles and stuff, multiple titles, and becoming undisputed. Those guys are different. You know, Shakur Stevenson, they're different. You guys are all about the star, the name. That's cool. So if that's what you're doing, you two keep picking your opponents, right? And keep talking about each other. So we're going to place you two right there, and we're going to place all the other guys over here. All right? That's the way I see it. Make sure you guys subscribe, man. Hit that thumbs up. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.